December 11th, Hampton Park. So I've been getting a couple of worrisome reports. Many of you are aware of the rat poison bait station that was opened up and set along that trail in the south woods of Hampton Park. A couple of squirrels died as a result of it, both inside and outside the park. Now, we are an on-leash park. There's signs everywhere. There's one right here as you enter at the Buell entrance, and also the NCC signs, those black ones. Even though those are technically a waist sign, you can see the image of the dog is on a leash. So once again, this is an issue. Oh, there, I see a nice puppy on leash. Yay! Wonderful. So that's number one. If you see something, say something, and if you're not willing or you're not comfortable doing that, if it's an issue, please call 311 and talk to the bylaw officers there. So the other thing is I've also been getting reports of additional dumping, garden waste and other things. So people just think, oh, it's natural, it'll be fine. Well, it's not, because we have no idea what might be in that soil. It could be invasives, it could be something harmful to the species here or the wildlife. And the other thing I've been getting reports on are people snitching things like logs and branches and fallen trees. So again, this is an ongoing issue. And deadwood is not dead. We need to leave it where it is, because it is the food source and habitat and emergency shelter for all kinds of wildlife. And as it breaks down, it becomes the next generation of soil. And in Hampton Park, the soil is really taking a beating because there's so much of it that has been exposed through trampling. So the less we take away from it, the better. Because when we take away a big log or a big branch, people are just going to walk on that, and before you know it, there will be nothing there but bare earth. So again, if you see something, say something. If you are not comfortable, you can always email us, and I'll give you some contact details in the description below for what kinds of things you might have to call the city for, or the NCC. This tree is probably going to be falling at some point. I would venture to guess in a big storm, it's probably going to come down, at least this branch rather, these couple of lower branches. And this probably won't be a huge deal because they'll come straight down. I've heard some news about snowy owls and how there may be an eruption. That's with an I, not an E. Again, I'll put some resources about this in the description below. But it might mean that we'll be seeing more snowy owls than usual. And I know that people have spotted them in here. Certainly they're around. We're very close to the experimental farm. And we have big enough trees for a lot of these species to roost in. And certainly good hunting grounds with all of the various chipmunks and squirrels and birds and mice and bunnies. So it's pretty good stuff for the birds that need to eat that kind of stuff. And it really is an excellent time of the year to learn about birds because they're so much easier to spot. And trees as well. You can spot trees sometimes a little bit easier if you're studying their bark. And just like I said the other day in Carlington, use these winter months when we're inside, not to binge watch everything on Netflix, but, you know, spend a half an hour every day just learning about something. It's good for the brain. It's called exercising the brain. We worry about our physical health so much, but we don't necessarily take care of the brain too much. Oh, now this, no, has this tree been down? I'm not sure when this tree came down. Let's take a look, because there's a newly planted white pine here. I'll make sure that that's fine. Yeah, actually I think this was down before the snows came. Where are you, my darling? There you are. Oh, you can just see it poking out. All right, yeah. You don't need to see Island Park Drive and the Queensway. That's just boring. Lots of squirrel nests, that's for sure. This inner pathway is often one of the best spots to see birds of all kinds. It's probably where I've always gotten the best shots of birds, raptors, woodpeckers, all the small songbirds, you know, you name it. This is such a good area and alleyway to just sort of check out. And because it's kind of sheltered, it often is a little bit warmer in here in the wintertime than it is elsewhere. The only issue with this path is that if we do get freezing rain or, you know, that kind of really heavy snow that really compacts down into almost ice, it's impassable for a lot of people unless you're wearing ice grippers, which personally I think every Canadian should be issued, but that's just me. So we talked about some of the deadwood being down and some of the reasons. Well, so here's a whole whack of mushrooms. And I've actually seen, you know, little rodents sometimes nibbling on these things. So if you know, if food is really scarce, they may be eating those. I know there's some really nifty looking ones under here. Let's see if we can't find them. Oh yeah. Here we go. That's some of them. Hard to tell though. Right. Here we are in the inner path, or the alley, or I don't know. I sometimes think we should be naming these so that we can give people better directions. Did I lose a mitten? Yes, I did. Good heavens. All right, well, we're coming up to the red chairs and the center memorial. So I'll probably stop here. Oh, right. So our metal invasive bin just keeps getting filled with trash. So I'm going to put up one last sign. I'm actually going to decommission the bin today just by covering it with another bag so that even if people do put stuff in, it'll be on top of that bag and not inside with the plant material. So you can look for that. At some point, I will be doing that. Okay.